What's going on, everybody? We're back. We're doing another live stream. We're doing this time. We're doing it a little bit differently. All right, so we're going to be talking about what we like to talk about the most. We love talking about investing because at the end of the day, we're all just freaks for investing, and I mean that. We're wild. We're crazy for it. Here's the thing: on this channel, we promote investing more than anything. We promote diversified investing. We promote, you name it, the works. So our goal is to always encourage and guide people through their investing journey. Now today we're going to talk about stocks versus crypto. Now this is something that I think is going to help a lot of people out. Because when I hear somebody tell me that they're investing into Bitcoin or any sort of cryptocurrency, I cringe a little bit. Not because I think they're stupid. I actually think that they're probably pretty smart people. My problem is I think that they don't know any better. That they have been told by their business professors, other random people, that somehow, some way, Bitcoin my Clitcoin is somehow worth something. It's not. It's just not worth anything. And my goal, really, like I always say, is to educate you guys on what it actually is. And it's essentially a decentralized Ponzi scheme. But that's the one thing I like to let everybody know, is that you're dealing with a Ponzi. And that matters. That's the biggest part about this. And if I can expose a Ponzi scheme, I'm obviously going to do it. I'm going to expose whatever Ponzi scheme I can, because you all know my stance on crypto. It is grifto, but let's go over a couple things, and then I'm going to get a soda. All right? Hold on one moment. I got to finish this off. Oh, yeah. Give me just a few seconds, though. And thanks, everybody, for your patience. I really appreciate it. We're doing the best we can. Okay, so stocks versus crypto. Here's why stocks usually win, all right? Stocks typically win, and the reason they usually win is due to ownership and cash flows, all right? Stocks are equivalent to real ownership and cash generating businesses like dividends, buybacks, voting rights, etc. That gives you intrinsic value anchored to earnings and assets. Crypto, on the other hand, has no cash flows. You can price it, but you can't value it like a business. So the anchor is a lot weaker. The truth is, crypto has an intrinsic value of zero. It has no if it had some utility, like if it had some sort of usable utility, some sort of desired utility like gold and silver have, you could at least measure its utility. But gold and silver's utility can be measured. Bitcoin's can. The problem is when you measure Bitcoin's usability in the real world, it's zero. It's absolutely zero. So, like I said, crypto has no cash flows. You can price it, but you can't value it like a business. So, like I said, the anchor is weaker. Big deal. Big thing to think about there. Big time thinking, you guys. Big time thinking, okay? Moving on. Number 2, long run returns you can underwrite. Check this out. U.S. stocks have delivered 10% a year on average, since 1928, including dividends. That's almost a century of data, by the way. Now, I'm not saying past performance equals future results. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there are in the stock market itself, there are actual businesses you're investing in. They do something. You get ownership of that business. And I just want to say how incredible that is and how it should be cherished by people. It's not, surprisingly. People would rather go gambling and look for griftocurrency, is what I call it. Let's see. What else we got here? Then we got global stocks, which have earned about 5%, real after inflation since the 1900s. Again, a century across countries. Now, I believe in having the entire U.S. stock market and as much of the international stocks that are out there in my portfolio. So I have exposure to international stocks through index-based international ETFs. It's a big deal. And then for my U.S. stocks, I got a plethora of different U.S.-based ETFs. I've got a plethora of individual stocks, you name it. I really do love real estate investment trusts, though. Those are my favorite asset class in the entire stock market. I can't help it, man. I'm in love with that asset class. It is the GOAT. It is the GOAT of all asset classes. It's the best. Tillman Scott said hi. What up, Tillman? It's good to see you. Make sure you like and subscribe if you can. The more we have, the merrier. Everybody's welcome. But welcome Tillman Scott to the channel. And then here's crypto on this scale. So crypto itself lacks long cycles and fundamentals to set reasonable long-term return assumptions. So, yeah. And here's the thing. Even if there were long cycles, even though there's like about, 10 plus years of data to show that crypto's gone up over time, sure. You could say, Bitcoin's gone up since its inception, absolutely. But that's because it has a cult following. When that cult following eventually dies, in which it will, by the way, because Bitcoin lacks intrinsic value. And Bitcoin's really a collectible at the end of the day. All cryptocurrencies are just a digital collectible. At this point, they're not a currency. They're not really going to change the world. Nothing about Bitcoin really changes the world. Maybe the blockchain technology makes for, you can use that to create really neat decentralized software, sure. But outside of it, though, So Tillman is asking a good question. Could you give me some advice for investing in the S&P 500? I am only 19, but I want to retire by the time I am 50 to 55. Well, honestly, your question's good. I can't, by the way, I just want to let you know, I am unable to give financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, so always talk to a financial advisor. Do your due diligence, do your homework, but I'll be more than happy to share with you my experience and my opinions for educational and entertainment purposes only. Look, honestly, there's not really that much advice when it comes to investing except for buy and hold. Buy and hold. So when you're wanting to get into the S&P 500, you can get into the S&P 500 just through buying an index ETF. And what an ETF is it's an exchange-traded fund. So just a quick question, Tillman. Do you have a brokerage account? Do you have like a Robinhood or a Charles Schwab brokerage account by chance? Anything of the sort? And while we're waiting on Tillman's response, Silly Jinx says, hey dude, what up, Silly Jinx? But while we're waiting on Tillman's response, look, S&P 500's great, but you got to think a little bit bigger than that. You want to stay diversified. I would say this. I would say a mixture of the entire stock market, the entire U.S. stock market, and as much of the international markets as possible. You could combine forces with the VTI. These are two ticker symbols that you can keep an eye out for. I'll put them in the chat real quick. So two symbols that I like: VTI, entire US stock market and VXUS international companies. Very broad. This is a broad one. I'm just going to put it in the chat real quick. You can make an entire portfolio based on those two ETFs, and you would be globally diversified in stocks because of the exposure that you would get through each of those ETFs. VTI is the entire US stock market. VXUS is the entire international market. So that's a big deal. It's a huge deal, and it means a lot. So let me take a look at Tillman's response. Silly Jinx says, sorry, I'm back from making a video. It's all right. Things happen, bro. I don't expect you to be on here all the time. Tillman Scott says, I haven't opened a brokerage account yet, but I really want to. Well, you're 19 years old. You're already over the age of 18. So what is stopping you from opening up a brokerage account? By the way, I'm going to put this up here. If you want global exposure to pretty much every single stock, whether it's US stocks or international stocks, those two right there. Now, you could do VT, Vanguard Total World Index. Keep that ticker symbol in mind. You could actually have a portfolio with just the VT in it and just keep dollar cost averaging into it. The whole goal is to buy and never sell. You buy, you hold, you never sell. Repeat after me, everybody. Class, repeat after me. Buy an ETF, hold it, never sell it. Simple as that. Jonathan Gore says, buy S&P 500, don't touch it for 30 years. Honestly, yes. You could have the S&P 500, keep dollar cost averaging into it, and you'd be okay. It's pretty diversified in itself. But if you wanted the entire U.S. stock market, the VTI, I can't recommend it, but that's where I would go. My goal is to always be as diversified as I can and spread out as I can. The more spread out my risk is, the more my eggs are in a variety of baskets, the better. So having the VTI allows you to have the entire U.S. market, not just 500 stocks. We're talking about like upwards to 5,000 stocks. So you would get exposure to 5,000 stocks or whatever amount is in the U.S. stock market. And then if you use the VXUS, it's like over 9,000, like about roughly close to 9,000 international stocks in there. So VTI, if you were to honestly dollar cost average into the VTI and the VXUS, or if you didn't want to have two ETFs and you wanted to get exposure to US and international in one single ETF, that one would be the VT. That one would be the Vanguard Total World Index. So VT ETF covers the entire globe. And then it is 60. By the way, it's 60% U.S. stocks and 40% international. Is how that one's allocated. Yeah, and if you're diversified, man, the goal is to buy and hold. It doesn't matter what condition the market's in, as long as you're heavily diversified and as long as you're consistently buying into the markets. That's the key. Remember, the goal is to save your assets, not your money. Again, I repeat, because I think repetition's a good thing. Save your assets, not your money. Big deal. But yeah, crypto's stupid, is what I'm trying to say. Crypto's grifto. Really quick, I'm going to go over the rest of this real quick. Risk and drawdowns. Equities are volatile, but typically long-run annualized volatility runs 20 to 23% for broad markets. Bitcoin has repeatedly crashed to all the way down to 75%, for example, even 93%, for example, in 2011, 84% in 2015, 2018. In 2022, its bear was down 75%. That is venture-style tail risk in a single asset. Look, Bitcoin is not gold. It's not digital cold. It's digital mold. Bitcoin is garbage. Anything crypto, if you see the word crypto, the only thing you need to do is run away. I think that's the most appropriate thing you could do. Thank you for the advice, Jonathan. It's harder making gacha in video games. Hey, man, keep plugging away at the content, brother. I think the more content you make, the better you get at it. Give yourself a lot of credit. Silly Jinx, man, you're killing it, brother. You are killing it. By the way, thank you to everybody who's subscribing. We've had a lot of subscribers sign up for the show. We're getting back into my wheelhouse. You know, as much as I love talking about like politics and stuff and various other things, this is definitely in my wheelhouse for sure. Jonathan Gore says, buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. I think you shouldn't do it. Talk to a financial advisor, but Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. Let's go. Not your boy 1000 says, here you go. This is more your speed, buddy. Thank you. I am an experienced investor, and I'm a diversified one. Diversification is the key, brother. Tillman says, crypto just kind of scares me. Not going to lie. Crypto, well, the reason crypto scares you is I think your instincts know that it's a gambling medium. That crypto is really just for gamblers, degenerate ones at that. Silly Jinx says, I'm tired. Get some rest, Silly Jinx. Jonathan Gore says, buy Bitcoin and never sell it, without a doubt. Tillman Scott says, buy, hold, done deal. Gotcha. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, really, buying and holding. If you're starting out and investing, don't do what I did. I actually got into penny stocks like an idiot when I started investing. I really should have gotten into ETFs a lot sooner. I eventually, obviously, made the right path. I studied investors, how they operated, how they did things, and tried to be as intelligent about my investing process as possible. So. Yeah, that was really the key. Stay intelligent, invest wisely, man. But yeah, Vanguard Total World Index is the VT, by the way. It covers the entire globe, basically. That's a big ETF. So if you're just starting out, Vanguard Total World Index is pretty good. Or you could split it between VTI and VXUS. Either way, as long as you're buying and holding hyper-diversified ETFs, that expose you to the entire U.S. stock market and the entire international markets, you're good. You're very good. Renee says Bitcoin going to 75K. So sorry. Hey, I'm happy about that. Why would you be sorry? Anytime Bitcoin crashes, dude, I get sprung, dude. I get sexually stimulated. I really do. Michael Garza says, save your assets, not your money. That's what I say. Boom. Yeah, Tillman says, okay. Oh, okay. All these different acronyms were confusing me. Thank you for taking the time to explain them. Absolutely, my brony brother. Renee says, gold long and strong. Gold's good, man. Hey, gold is hey, look it. If you don't know what to invest in, at least gold is fairly inflation proof, and it's better than a savings account. I would rather save gold than save money, if we're going to be honest. Does it take longer to exchange the gold for dollars? Yes. But gold is one of the biggest inflation hedges, especially if the dollar collapses. People need to consider that the dollar could collapse at any time. And I personally do not believe the dollar is that strong. Jonathan says you're right. It will go to 75K. It will be $1 million in 2038. Why do people think Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million per coin? That is so ridiculous. It is beyond ridiculous. It has trouble even staying over 100,000. And the only reason it got to 100,000 is because of institutional interest. Once institutions started buying up the Bitcoin and holding it in spot ETFs, that made it to where the market was manipulated. And then it made it more popular. But just because Bitcoin's popular right now does not mean Bitcoin will always be popular. Eventually, Bitcoin is going to go the way of the NFT, where people are going to look at it and be like, this is stupid. And, yeah, that's the truth. Jonathan Gore says 100% annualized return per year. That is such BS, and you know it, dude. For how long? Bitcoin, when it crashes, by the way, it crashes hard. And man, I've made so much effing money from using the SBIT to bet against Bitcoin. So, Tillman Scott says all the different rug pulls made me wary of crypto. Dude, crypto itself is a giant pump and dump scheme, brother. Dude, Tillman, I'm not a financial advisor, but my God, I'm trying to save some souls here. Crypto is grifto. Repeat after me. Crypto is grifto. Stay as far away from it as you can. It's bad for your health. Just saying. Too many rug pulls? Yep, absolutely. Also, if you're new here, tap the $ for a super chat. Skip the line. I'll read you first. Please subscribe. Jinx says, I'm scared now. What did Random do to you? What? I don't know, dude. Another exciting stream by the fake Garza. Thank you, Christian. Gordon says, same logic for gold. What same logic? Bitcoin is not gold. Gold is way better than Bitcoin on an intrinsic level. Gold has utility. Bitcoin does not have utility. Gordon, if you're shilling Bitcoin, I swear to Christ, I'm going to try not to freak out, but stop shilling for Bitcoin. Anyway, Nathan Walker says Bitcoin costs too much for its value. Negative intrinsic value, without a doubt, brother, without a doubt. Look, Bitcoin is bullshit. Christian says, I don't think anyone knows the truth about Bitcoin. Gold and silver are much safer. Absolutely. Gold and silver are actually from nature. Bitcoin was created by some programmer who created some really great cryptographic algorithms and some great software. But here's the problem, is that, what do you call those things? Quantum computers are going to be able to decipher the entire Bitcoin network in the snap of a finger. So once quantum computing gets even bigger, there's going to be other countries that'll have quantum computers that'll be hacking the Bitcoin algorithm. So having Bitcoin is a liability, without a doubt. I think owning Bitcoin is a liability. I think it's the worst thing you could do. One moment, I'll be right back. Silly Jinx is laughing. Christian says, I agree with you. Bitcoin will eventually crash, and the U.S. economy with it. Most likely. Hmm. Okay, so people are still here. Hell yeah. Let's keep on rolling. So, on to the next topic of crypto versus stocks, right? There is diversification that actually diversifies. Now, a single ETF can hold, and this is where we're getting to the point I was making earlier. Diversification that actually diversifies, okay? A single ETF can hold thousands of companies. VT, for example, the Vanguard Total World Index has 9,000 plus worldwide holdings. It's pretty wild. For a basis point fee, spreading issuer, sector, and country risk. So you're spreading your risk across the globe just by having one ETF called the Vanguard Total World Index, called the VT. It's a beautiful one, man. I love the VT. I think it's a fantastic ETF. I really do. Let's see. Crypto's correlation with stocks rose meaningfully post 2020. So it often behaves like a higher beta risk asset rather than a hedge. There's regulation and investor protections. Brokerage accounts for stocks come with the SIPC protection, custody protection of up to $500,000, including $250,000 of cash. If a broker fails, not protection from market losses, but real safeguards if the custodian implodes. Unregistered digital assets are not covered. So stocks are a big deal. Crypto markets still see large thefts, hacks, and scams every single year. Tens of billions of dollars in flows tied to illegitimate activity. That's an extra layer of operational risk that you don't need. That's an extra layer of operational risk you don't need. There's also costs in implementation. Broad index stock ETFs charge 0.03% to 0.06% in fees, making compounding work for you. Crypto often layers on higher spreads, exchanges, custody risks, and taxable trading churn. Stocks can pay a qualified, here's taxes and incomes. Stocks can pay a qualified dividend and execute buybacks, creating a steady shareholder yield and potential tax advantages, depending on account. Now, crypto generally lacks organic income without taking lending, DeFi, counterparty risk. The bottom line is this. If your goal is durable wealth, building with knowable drivers, stocks have the edge. They produce cash flows, have a century of audited performance across countries, come with stronger investor protections, and are cheap to own in diversified wrappers. So crypto can be a speculative side bet, but its extreme drawdowns, rising correlation to equities, and higher operational risk make it a poor core holding for most people. If you still want a pinch of crypto, treat it like venture risk. Cap it at a small slice, rebalance mechanically, and prefer regulated, transparent vehicles over offshore exchanges. Not financial advice on any of this, just a boring plan that wins most of the time. And look, I'm a little bit of an old man Viagra style investor. I get it. But it works. And that's the key. All right, let's look at some viewer comments and we'll go over some more stuff. Christian's asking how to make money off the crash. I got 100K to invest. Hey, look, honestly, if you have $100,000, I wouldn't put it all in at once. I think it's good to have cash sitting on the side. If you're wanting to swing trade, swing trading is really fun. Whenever I swing trade an ETF, I like to keep half of the desired money that I want to have in there, and then I have the other half basically sitting to the side, ready to use it if in the event there's like a bear market or something on the specific ETF. Oh. Oh. Christian says, I want to double my money. Don't we all? Riz says, hey, WSG, there's only 2 viewers. Yep, you and me. Yep. I don't know. I got Riz like that, and I'm first already. Hey, Riz is number 1, dude. There's 3 viewers now. What are you reading? Oh, I'm just going over the plan on how to on stocks versus crypto. I'm just basically discussing the benefits of having a stock portfolio versus a crypto portfolio. I believe that crypto is grifto, and eventually it will go to zero. That if you're in it, you better be in it for a short amount of time. It's very risky, and there's nothing to stop it from actually going to zero, since it does have an intrinsic value of 0. Anything with an intrinsic value of 0 eventually goes to 0, and sometimes it will bubble out for sure, but when that bubble pops, it'll be a very violent pop. Very violent. In fact, let's see how violent the crypto markets have been today, and see if there's any opportunities. Definitely violent today. Oh my goodness. Woo. Oh lordy. There we go. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Chat is open, but I'm answering super chats first. Drop one to skip the line. I'll read it on screen and react accordingly. Mr. Orange Man, 2 viewers. Where are the other fans like last week? I don't know, man. Sometimes they go away. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're gone, man. I'm just talking about long-term investing into exchange traded funds, and how you should avoid cryptocurrencies, because crypto is grifto at the end of the day. It is BS grifter currency. I'm always yapping, man. Unk, he's like 90. Who trying to be my DL? Sneaky Link. Riz says he's no Unk, he's grandpa. Alright. Bet against the dollar. Alright. Bet against the pesos. XRP is down again. It's all good. Be bad. Riz, dude. Yep, Silly Jinx and Riz have reunited, man. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Is everybody back? You guys ready to attack? Yeah, we're ready to attack. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody's going to act like a hoe. Yo. I know. My motor. My motor. Silly Jinx is my boy, dude. Dude, Riz is going hard, dude. Riz wants to be the number one. He wants to be the GOAT, dude. It's going to be a battle. Dude, Riz wants that number one, dude. Because I am number one. Dude, 75. Dude, he's tied with... he's tied with Renee right now, dude. Uh-oh. Yeah, random players been kind of like popping in and out on occasion. Without a doubt. Yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. I've gotten so much watch time hours. It's been insane, man. It's been wild. So Riz is attracting viewers because of his Riz. No idea who's inertia. Let's see me. Silver would be a great buy. Gonna hit $50 real soon. Second guy in here now. You know, silver's great. I mean, it doesn't matter what the dollar price is. It just matters what you're investing in. I mean, obviously, you want to make sure you're getting the fair market value of whatever the heck you're buying, right? So Riz is trying to control the chat. This is why I don't make people mods, dude. That's why I don't make anybody a mod. All right, so we got a poll going. You can only choose one. We got 3 votes in it. 67% of you say stocks. 33% of you say crypto. Look, I mean, obviously, you know what I'm going to choose. Every time. Riz, nobody's going to pick. The only people who pick crypto are dummies. I'm going to check my fantasy football stuff real quick. Oh, dude, Seattle is ahead. I have to throw the Cardinals are going to throw the ball. I need Trey McBride to get me some points. That's why I'm desperate here. Come on, Trey. Get me some bloody points, brother. Trey's getting me the points so far. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hey man, if you pick crypto over stocks, I'm sorry, Riz, you're kind of dumb, man. But that's okay. Can't win them all. Pick stocks, silly jinx. I mean, you're not fully dumb, Riz. You still got some ability to think. I didn't know you're orange like that. Why can't I repick? Hey, once you pick your pick, you're good. So we got 5 votes in. We got 80% stocks. You can only choose one. 80% of you have chosen stocks. 20% of you have chosen crypto, my grifto. Hell yeah. And we all know that crypto is grifto, without a doubt. Talked to many of people. They agree with me. And who doesn't agree with me? Oh. So wait, Riz, did you at least talk to your parents about this show? You gotta talk to them. You gotta let them know that you watch it, all right? And then you gotta let them know. You gotta ask for permission on it, okay? Smart thing you could do, all right? Silly Jinx says, "Oop." Riz says, "Nah, I'm standing on my business. I'm no weakling." Oh, dude. It's reminding me of Naruto Unhinged, bro. Stacking your bread, dude. Stacking your bread. I get it. I respect it. Silly Jinx says I made it to every one of his streams. If I picked it, I picked it. No, I didn't talk to them. Not yet, no. You gotta tell them. You gotta ask for permission to watch this show. Alright? You gotta tell your parents, hey, I watched the Michael Garza show, but I want permission to watch it further. That's the best thing you could do, okay? If they say yes, cool. If they say no, cool. It's totally your call. I'm the main character in my own world. Whatever works for you, man. Haven't missed one since I joined. What a beast. Good job, Silly Jinx. Riz said, I don't want to tell him because there's nothing wrong here. It's actually entertaining. Well, I'm glad you're entertained, Riz. I try to be educational more than anything. For real, Riz, it's actually entertaining. I'm going to go now. I got to go do... Hey, you got to get that homework, man. You do your thing, brother. Thank you for the Vine. Make sure you like the video, though. More likes we have, the better. We're trying to really pump out the show to the algorithm, so the more you guys like these videos, the better results I get. Silly Jinx, you're smart, man. Anyway, but please like the video and subscribe to the channel. The more likes and subscribes we have, the more powerful we'll become. So I appreciate anything you guys can provide. Yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl. Make sure you guys, like I said, like the video, though. And if you can, subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the stream. We need more subs. More rubba-dubba-dub subs. New revolution. All right, I think we're back. We're back, and we're ready to attack. Here we go. Oh, it's got to pop my back a little bit. Here we go. All right. Give me a few seconds, folks. Hmm. All right, guys. You guys ready? Boom. Let's see what we can do to get a little more super chats. Gonna be simps. Okay. I gotta check out my fantasy stuff real quick. One moment, you guys. Dude, Trey McBride is a stud. 4 receptions already, and it's not even halftime. It's getting close to halftime, though. Marvin Harrison Jr., though, man, is a bust. Yeah, it's we live in Trey McBride's world. I mean, here's the thing. Even if Trey McBride doesn't get me a single friggin' touchdown, he's still a stud, dude. He's going to help me, like... he's going to help me in that PPR shit. But yeah, I'm thinking this week I should be able to win this matchup. That'll even me out at 2-2. I got to try to get... I got to start making a run for it in the league. Got to beat the good big boy. I got to beat the big boys here. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys choose? Because you can only choose one in this scenario. You can either choose. You can either choose stocks. 71% of you have chosen stocks. 29% of you have chosen crypto. Make sure you guys vote in the poll, by the way. More voters, the better. I'm trying to get as many people to vote on this poll as possible. So get in, get up, keep on rocking, man. Heck yeah. The dividends are rolling in. They always do. Okay, here we go. So Kyle K is asking, Master and Lord, what are the plans for this evening? Well, if you put it that way, Master and Lord. The plan is, I guess, everybody just worships me. I don't know how I would respond to half of you people. What do you want from me? But yeah, I've just been swing trading my ass off, man. Swing trading, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's the way to do it. No. I am not ready to apologize, buddy. And actually, I figured out who you are, Most Toast. I figured out who most of these spammers are. Are you ready to apologize to me, Most Toast? Because I ain't apologizing to you. Even if you were to apologize to me, nah. All I really care is... Here's the thing. I'll say this. I forgive you. Not really. Dude, Most Toast, you're clearly psycho. Sorry. You're the team lead that I had to deal with. That's my assumption. It's the only thing I could think of. Otherwise, I don't know why you would harass me this much on my own show. You're probably an ex-coworker of mine. Wouldn't shock me, though. Wouldn't shock me because you made my life miserable. The managers at T-Tech. I don't know. It's an assumption. I'm probably wrong. But Most Toast, what is your first name? Riz says, yo, bro, I'm back, but there's a problem. Dude, what's up? Kyle K, Master and Lord. You know what's up this evening? My wang. But who are you, though? Like, what is your first name, Most Toast? You can tell me. That's okay. Garlic is Good says, how do you determine fair value of any crypto coin? When you buy a coin, you don't own a stake in a cash-generating real business. That's how you can determine valuation in stocks. Yeah, crypto is bullcrap. Like, crypto is grifto. At the end of the day, cryptocurrencies have zero intrinsic value. There's nothing there. There's no... Getting warmer. All right, then. Fine. What do you want me to apologize for exactly? Let me know what I'm supposed to apologize for, and then you can let me know who you are. Sound good? What do I need to apologize for? I'll tell you what. You tell me your first name. I'll consider apologizing. Most Toast says, apologizing for lying about your portfolio and saying you bought multiple... Dude, first off, Most Toast, you've been a total dickbag to me. Hell no. I'm not apologizing to you. Screw that. How about this? If you don't like this channel, and if you're going to be a total gaslighting D-bag the entire time, I'm done. You're clearly a loser with nothing better to do. Go keep eating chips off your chest, but go find a different stream to be a total Choden. I'm back, y'all. I need your help, Garza. Yo, silly, help me too. Okay, what up, dude? Riz is saying, tell my mom I didn't rip my homework. What? It's my cat and my dog forgot to do. It's my cat and my dog forgot to do my homework. Oh my god. Also, apologize for the way you treated everyone at work. Dude, I was actually really nice to everybody at work, by the way. So I have nothing. The only people, by the way, who should apologize to me from T-Tech, you know who they are? Becky, Brittany, and Stephanie. And also the HR lady, Jen. She was also a bitch. Yeah, no. Screw you. T-Tech is a god-awful company. You guys are, if it's one of you guys, you're all god-awful managers, by the way. You're the worst of the worst. You suck. You're terrible. I'm not apologizing. In fact, you need to apologize to me. F you for gaslighting me also at work. And also, thank you. If Most Toast is one of you guys, screw you for gaslighting me on here too. Because it's the only thing you're good at in life. You have no redeemable skills. You have no redeemable qualities except for your irredeemable ones. Let me guess. Is this Steven? Steven, is that you? Steven was actually a pretty cool dude. I don't know what sort of beef Steven would have had with me, but maybe he didn't like me. But the way that you interact and chat on here makes me assume you might be Steven. Maybe. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong. But, alright, Most Toast. How about this? What is the first letter of your last name? The games we play. Got 10 votes. So you can only choose one, by the way. 70% of you say stocks, 30% of you say crypto. So we got a 70-30 split. I'm surprised, the 30% who choose crypto are the people who don't know any better, right? Close to figuring it out. I told her I can't eat my homework. I did. Da. No. It's all messed up. Wait. Wish I was a manager. Colder. Most Toast is asking, what are you going to do in exchange for the first letter? I'm going to call you a gaslighting son of a bitch. That's what I'm going to do. Most Toast, I gotta say, you've been despicable. And if you were one of the managers that I had to work with at T-Tech, that's even worse. And don't get me wrong, you're actually helping the channel by engaging in the chat, by the way. So you're actually helping me more than you realize. And let's just say, at this point, I'm pretty good at rage baiting. Huh. First letter in my last name is S. Huh. Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, Most Toast, you're not making it easy. But I'll assume maybe it's Becky, maybe it's Brittany, maybe it's Stephanie. Either way, at this point, you're all the same pieces of garbage to me. It doesn't matter. Keep chatting on here, though. Can't just give me the answer? All right, why not? I think the one thing I'm sick about is people thinking that they can control me. And if you think you can control me for a second, go to hell. Go right to hell. But I already know that you're in it, Most Toast. Yeah. I'm not negotiating. I'm just going to tell you that I ain't apologizing. So, all I got to say is Most Toast. I just hope you, you know, go be a creep. No, Most Toast, if you're exactly who I think you are, you should apologize to me for being a total D-bag to me if you're who I think you are. You're probably not. You're probably trolling me. But I will say this, though. If you are one of the D-bag managers who I had to work with, you really should go F yourself. You are terrible to me. And I try not to think about you because the only thing I can think of is dread. And I'm glad I'm away from that terrible company. T-Tech is garbage, by the way. Not just the company. The company does suck, by the way, but the management is even worse. The managers I had to deal with were trash. And I am so freaking glad I don't have to deal with that trash anymore. I ain't saying sorry. I won't say I'm sorry because it's too late to apologize. It's too late. I said it's too late to apologize. Oh yeah, I'm getting a ton of dividends. All them dividends coming in, yeah. I love them dividends. I love the dividends. I love the dividends. Dividends are freaking great, dude. Like, that's the one thing that gets my mussy all wet is the dividends. So let me get this straight. So Most Toast is saying you should take accountability for your subpar performance. Or are you talking about the fact that I had the best stats on the team? Like, legitimately the best. If this is a T-Tech manager, by the way, I had the best stats on the team. I was even told by Stephanie, even though she's annoying as hell, that I did have the best. That my stats were incredible. Maybe not like the best of the best, but I'm up there. My stats were really, really good. And yeah, I'm happy to be away from that shit show. And you know what really happened? Yeah, I will tell the people what really happened. I'll tell the people that management gaslit me, discriminated against me, made me feel uncomfortable on multiple occasions during one-on-ones. Yeah, screw them. I never felt that much dread wanting to come into work because I knew I was going to deal with micromanaging sons of bitches. T-Tech is a terrible company. I'm sticking to that story because it's the real story. And yeah, I am upset. I am angry. Well, the way I was talked down to several times, that sucked. That was another thing. I was told on a couple occasions, basically, because I came in late, like by a couple minutes for lunch, and sometimes at the start of my shift. I was told that when you start acting like adults here, I was told all sorts of things, terrible things. Not like awful, but it was the tone. It was the upspeak, being talked down to. I can't stand that. You know, it's like I can't be taught. I hate being talked down to by somebody who is far more incompetent than I am. Incompetent. And also, she was just judgy and just. She was awful. Brittany, my team lead, was a terrible person. Is a terrible person. I'm glad I don't have to deal with her anymore. She is, in my opinion, a rotten to the core individual. And yeah, if I'm right, hopefully they see the monster that she is. Hopefully they see the piece of garbage that she is. And not constantly. Of course I didn't have respect for my superiors. Why would I? They never respected me. They talked down to me. They didn't make me feel very comfortable. I came back from lunch late and sometimes would show up late to work, only by a couple minutes, by the way, because of the environment that our terrible management and leadership put up. I'm sorry that you guys were such bad managers to me that you made me feel uncomfortable to even want to come in. But when I did come in, I performed at a high freaking level. And yeah, you're right. I didn't have any respect for my superiors. There was nothing to respect. I had a lot of respect for my coworkers, though. They were good. Like, they tried their best, and they were kind to me. Very kind. But you guys made me feel like dirt. And you know what? I'm trying to forgive you all for it. I'm trying, because the more I hate, the worse I feel. Am I right to feel what I feel? Yes. Should I continue to feel it? Probably be a bad idea. But yeah, you guys suck. And you're right. Yeah, I didn't have any respect. Why would I have respect for unrespectable people? I did have respect. I tried originally until I started getting disrespected left and right. And I was like, F these people. F these people all to hell. And I started not caring as much. The funny thing is, even when I was working, I still did my work and I had 100% focus. Took most of actually, if not all, sorry. I took the most inbound calls every day. There were a couple occasions where I didn't, obviously, but for the most part, I did. And I'm glad to be out of that hellhole. Thompson says, how were you disrespected? Well, I was disrespected in the sense that I'm to rehash this again. Okay. I was talked down to. Okay. And these were in one-on-ones. The worst part is these are all basically us talking to each other, just one-on-one through a video chat, right? And if one of my stats was even slightly off, but you know what I mean? Like, I would get the worst lecture of all time. Like I almost felt like I was always going to lose my job if like one little stat was like slightly off. My overall stats were great. My average handle time was always fantastic. But yeah, no, I was disrespected to the core, and I started resenting. I resented my management team after a while. And I don't think they realized just how bad they made me feel. And it wasn't... Here's the thing. Pretty much 90% of the... Well, 80% of the problem was my team lead, Brittany. Okay? 20% of the problem... Well, 10% of the problem was Becky. And then I find out that the person responsible for all of it was Stephanie, who was above her. And all three of them are beyond disgusting to me. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. The more likes we have, the better. The more subscribes we have, the better. Chat is open, but I'm answering super chats first overall. Drop one and skip the line. I'll read it on the screen and I'll react to the pin highlights. What's up? I'm basically talking about how my management team at T-Tech made me feel like garbage, talked down to me constantly, and I have a sneaking suspicion that one of the accounts on here is probably Most Toast. It's probably one of them. One of the management team. It could explain the incessant bullying on here, because I started to realize, I was like, well, the Most Toast person is kind of acting the way my manager did to me, my team lead. And yeah, it's pissing me off just thinking about it, man. Well, I'm going to do a little karaoke to make me feel better. You guys want to hear some karaoke? And what they call it, scarioke. We're going to do a little James Blunt, man. Yeah. My eyes are shining hard, man. Because I'm pissed. All right, let's do this. Oh, it's a pro exclusive. Okay. It won't let me do the whole song, damn it. I'm going to exit. I got to find the ones that don't have...
You always wondered why that app didn't exist. Now you can make it. Meet Replit Agent.
Shit. I don't want it. Want to get rid of ads? No, I like ads. I love ads, dude. Give me the ads, baby. Let's see. Most Toast says, how exactly do we make you feel like dirt? Please explain. Well, you made me feel like dirt because, and this feels like, even if Most Toast is just trolling me, like the reason that the T-Tech management made me feel like dirt was just how much they talked down to me, how much they made me feel like crap. Most Toast, that is bullshit. You're slandering me. You've been slandering me, by the way. By the way, which one of them are you, Most Toast? but he can't take responsibility for any of his actions. He's crying discrimination because he didn't meet. No, I met every obligation. My stats were incredible. Me coming in a little bit late every now and then is not a big deal. Trust me. Especially when I'm outperforming everybody at a high scale. So screw it. Mr. Nathan says, Toto Africa? Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. How exactly were you talked down to? Give a specific example. I gave you every example. For one, my team lead, Brittany, told me to start acting like an adult for no reason, even though I work like an adult and I kick ass. It's pissing me off. But yeah, Most Toast, what's your name? Tell me your actual name or DM me. Oh, it was said for every reason, Most Toast. It was every reason. Now I want you to tell me, what is your name? What is your name? All right, I'm going to do some more karaoke, though. So, Most Toast. Okay, let's see. All right, so we're going to do a little, a classic, Rick Astley. The GOAT. The greatest of all time. We all know that Rick Astley obviously is the greatest. All right, can we do this? We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. So we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. And if you ask me how I'm feeling, don't tell me you're too blind to see. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give you up. Oh, never gonna give you up. Never gonna give you up. We known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. You know the game and we're gonna play it. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Give you up, never gonna let you down. Run around and desert you. Gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. All right, there we go. All right, let's take a look at the comments here. Let's see, what do we got? Oh my God, we got so many comments. Me or him? Who are you roasting, Garza? Stop it. What are you under control? Each time a gooner goons, Garza gets a new eyebrow hair. Respect your superior. Garza, who did you work for? The FBI? Probably. Yeah. No. Let's see. Riz says I'm the Gunner Master. I can't imagine why any would tell you to grow up. That is so odd. It's not very odd to me. I had to deal with it. Riz says, I think the power of the witch who did this is powerful. Most toast, are you fighting with Garza? Let my man go. Tasso says, I invest in, oh God, in 8-ball street-level pharmacies. God damn it. Riz says, why can't y'all shut up and let me read? Most Toast says, my last name starts with M. Okay. Oh. So what's the first letter of your first name? I think I know who you are. You terrible person. Yeah. Anyway. Riz says, yo guys, let's cheer up Garza, not get him to be emo. I'm a little bit emo for sure. Miso Turtle Soup says Loverboy mood. Nightbot says regular chat equals background convo. Super chats equals guaranteed response on screen shout out. Please like and subscribe. Hell yeah. Riz. Whoa. Tasso says talking is not singing. You are not William Shatner. Sing it. We do know each other. Well, who are you, Most Toast? Just let me know who you are. What is your name? Because you know what? Most Toast, if you want to get an apology out of me, you're never going to get an apology out of me. That's the one thing. At least not a sincere one. I might fake an apology and be like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I won't actually apologize, though. Hell no. Hell to the no. Let's see who else we got here. Are you telling your backstory? Sure. There's 3. My boy Nate Dogg is dapping. I don't know what he's doing on that emoji. I think he wants to kiss us. Ignore him. Most Toast, get out of this stream. Why you remind Garza of his bad time because of you? No, you're better. You just don't worry. I'm doing better. Thank you, Riz. I appreciate it. S. Okay. I think I know who you are, Most Toast. You're Stephanie, aren't you? Riz says, y'all are finally shutting up. Let's see. Nipples on men are strange. The actual passing age of... Oh, wow. Do you see one? I don't know. Okay. Well, just let me know your first name. Let me know... SM, yeah. You were basically the... Yeah, I mean, if you really are Stephanie, that's hilarious. Because you were running a... If it's who I think it is, even if you're just trolling... If it is Stephanie... then you were running a bullshit operation, and you are one of the worst. You were the top-down issue because you enabled so much bullshit with those managers. Like, you have no idea how bad it was. And I actually once loved doing that job, and I mean it when I say that I actually loved doing the job, but when I had those terrible people as my managers... I realized I just didn't love it anymore. You enabled the managers to be toxic in targeting a specific individual. Me. Targeting is a real thing. And it's sad that I have to educate somebody like you on it, Most Toast. I was targeted, and you're probably, I don't know, even if you're trolling me, it feels good to get this out. It's almost like a therapy session, oddly enough. So, like, I love getting emotional. I really do, because it helps me get things out. And I'm fine with being emotional on camera. I have no embarrassment of that. I don't really care about my image at the end of the day. I think image is overrated. And, yeah. All right, Most Toast. I'm listening, but I probably won't comply because you're a total bitch. Dude, I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. Lost control of the chat. The chatterbait. The only thing I'm laying on the table are my man tits. If you want to know the truth, the only thing I'm going to lay on the table are my man boobs, all right? My man boobs can lay on the table. That's about the extent of it. Got it? Get it. Too close to outwit it. But yeah, you know. Let's lay it out on the table. Come on, Most Toast. Let's do this. Okay. How about this? So Most Toast is saying you were fired because you are extremely inappropriate. We had multiple complaints about your behavior from your coworkers, managers, and customers. Interesting, because I never interacted with my coworkers. I barely would. Not because I didn't like them. I just didn't want to bug them. So how could I have been inappropriate to coworkers? And also, by the way, customers. I can't say I was always perfect with them, but I was never inappropriate with them, just to let you know. Now, managers, on the other hand, I wasn't even inappropriate with them either. I just wanted to avoid them. In fact, if anything, I avoided social interaction overall and just stuck to the customer service side of things. So, multiple complaints, you're slandering me, and you're making up stats. You're the one making up the stats. And let's see, Most Toast says, and you know that. You were just Dude, really? Refusing to take accountability? How about you refusing to take accountability for your terrible management? What are you talking about? You're a terrible manager. You are bad. Oh, the irony is this, Most Toast, if you're who I think you are. You have zero self-awareness. You can project onto me, but I am more self-aware than you could ever imagine. I'm aware of my flaws. I'm aware of my abilities. I'm aware of what I am. Do I believe in myself? Yes. Sometimes I'm a little overconfident. Don't get me wrong. But when you're treated terribly by management, it's a done deal at that point. I've had a problem with the management for a long time. Why don't you tell me who you are? Tell me your full name. Tell me. I'm not an employee at T-Tech anymore. So tell me who you are. What is your full name if you are who you claim to be? Or, if you'd like, if you need a little bit of privacy on it, why don't you email me? How about this? Here's my email, garzamedias@gmail.com. Fill in the blanks. You just type in garzamedias@gmail.com. If you don't want to let me know who you are on here, that's fine. Let me know who you are and your first and last name, and we'll hash this out. I want to see if you are who you claim to be. Go ahead. You may email me. Yeah. It's fine, dude. You're good. That's my... See that email above? That email's mine. It's on the screen. That's my email. That's the thing, though. I didn't quit. Why would I quit? You guys fired me. So you're not who you claim to be. So you are trolling me. Oh, don't worry, I'm good. Here's the thing. Look, you know what happened? I got fired. I got fired because they claimed I was unprofessional when it was not true. And it was probably the most egregious lie ever told. You know, I do understand the question. Here's the thing. You fired me. If you are who I think you are, you fired me. Oh, you're wondering why I didn't quit. Well, it's because I still had some faith in the system. I still had some faith that you guys might turn it around. That you guys might not be mean to me. And that you might leave me alone. I was naive. I thought you guys would actually be kinder to me. Your last name rhymes with bore? So bore, more, whore, core. Huh. Here's the thing, though. I do enjoy engaging the trolls. You want to know why? Because it boosts chat engagement. And when chat engagement is boosted, I win the game. I mean it. I win the game when the chat is boosted. Daddy-O wins the game. That's just how it rolls, brother. That's just how it rolls. I wish you would step out from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties for the lies that you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. Well, here's the thing, man. Don't worry, brother. I feel you, therapy. I don't like getting emotional because it makes me feel like I'm... Hey, you know what? You ain't weak if you're emotional, man. And me, you know, in society, we've been told that if we're emotional, we're seen as crazy or weak. Hell no. And you know what? If I am seen as crazy and weak or not manly enough, good. I don't want anybody's approval. As much as I love my friends and I love my family, I don't want my family's approval. I don't want my friends' approval. I don't want anybody's approval. You know what I really want at the end of the day? I just want to be me. I want to be as me as I can be. I want to help people I care about. I want to make their lives as good as possible. I want to steer everybody in the right direction. That's the key. That's the key for me. But you know what? I worked for management that was purely sociopathic, and it feels good to get this out. Thank you, Ralphsberry. Missed you. You rock. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Let's see. Most Toast says, seems like a reasonable person. I did make complaints. Well, first off, you know what I did was I complained to my manager, Becky. That didn't do any good. Because I kept saying that, dude, the way that frickin' Brittany was treating me, the team lead, was awful. I kept giving her examples, and then during the one-on-ones, of course, they're not recorded. And then I got a write-up. When that write-up happened, I was like, no, I'm not accepting this. I'm going to dispute the write-up. But yeah. You know what? The irony is you never took responsibility for your actions if you are who I think you could be. You know, the irony is I came into work and did a really good job. And I outperformed pretty much everybody on a daily basis. Most toast, why don't you tell me? What was I written up for? What was I written up for? Let's see. Quark or Odo? Let's see. Oh, man. That's a tough question. I'm really thinking deeply about this. I do love Odo. But also Quark was an instrumental piece in that show. Quark is a lot funnier. But I will say Odo's journey was a very heartfelt one. So I got to pick Odo. Odo over Quark. That was a tough one. Because I love both of them. Most Toast says, tell your chat, let's see you take some responsibility. If you do, I'll reveal who I am. All right. That's fair. So I did get one corrective action at one point. You want to know what it was? It was because I had 1 month of bad reliability. I was at 85% reliability, when the reliability rate's supposed to be 95, after having several months of good reliability. And I have one bad month, and I get a corrective action. And then I got a second corrective action on a technicality. That was stupid. I definitely disputed the hell out of that one. Thank you, Riz. I appreciate it. I don't know who Most Toast is at the end of the day. I don't know. It's probably a troll. But at the same time, it's very fun to let out these feelings that I've been having and putting them out in the ether. Thank you, James. Thank you, Riz. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for entering the gay zone. It's pretty gay. It's pretty gay up in here half the time. I don't know. What do you want? I've told you guys everything. There's really not much to know. Other than that, I came in and did a really good job. Seriously. You guys micromanaged me. You guys made me uncomfortable to come into work, by the way, because of how much I was being... One of the reasons why I had trouble wanting to even come into work was because the terrible way you treated me. That's a big deal to me. If you're going to treat me terribly and make the workplace just terrible for your employee, especially somebody who does a really good job, by the way, and keeps to himself, in which I kept to myself quite a bit, I didn't want to bug anybody. I still asked for help, obviously, when I needed it, but... There's an empty space in the chair tonight, 'cause it don't feel right. There are storm clouds brewing in the back of his mind as he steps outside. Alright, let's see here. Alright, let's discuss the disputed write-up, explain the second corrective measure. Yeah. I was slightly below the reliability of 95%. I had elected to use PTO instead of wellness, and if I would have used some of my wellness hours, that actually would not have happened. But they were looking for a technicality. They wouldn't even let me revise. But management and I at that point had already been clashing because I was already very upset with them. Yeah, I was already upset. Basically, there was just bad blood between me and management at that point. They had treated me unfairly. They had treated me like shit. I didn't always feel like coming into work, but I did. I performed at a high level. I'm very happy about that. Very proud of that. I'm proud of the work. Like, I actually am. I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish. Okay? It's not in my nature, bud. It's not in my nature. You know what my idea was? My idea was I'm going to stand my ground. I'm just going to stand my ground. That's what I decided. Why not? You know? It was terrible. I liked doing the job, though. See, the thing is, I didn't really want management at all, to be honest, because of the way they treated me. But the best thing I could do is I just ignored my management, even though I didn't trust them one iota, and I just did the work. I was good at it. Still would have been. So what would you do if you had an employee who repeatedly didn't meet his reliability? I would try to understand why, especially if he's a high performer, or she. If I had an employee who was having a little bit of trouble with reliability, I would try to get to the bottom of it. Really ask him, it's like, hey, is everything all right? You know, and try to understand. Try to encourage them, you know, use a little bit of wellness time. That way it's not used against you. It was so funny because in a lot of things, it was like almost implied that if I used any amount of wellness time, it was going to be used against me. So okay, calm down, Riz. Calm down. Riz. Garza, don't worry. Look, Riz, I'm very passionate, by the way. Just keep that in mind. This isn't a fight. It's an argument. So why weren't you meeting your obligations? I was meeting my obligations. That's the thing. I absolutely was. My production was incredible. I knew it was. Because I was told it was incredible. I saw the stats. The stats were given to me. It was good. Nate Dogg says, can't you see you're tearing this chat? Lisa, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. Trying to do the, if you guys ever watch The Room or, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. I did not hit her. I did not. You guys have seen The Room, right? The Room. It's fucking bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. I tried, Riz. Please, y'all, stop. What's wellness time? Oh, it's something I could have used to prevent a second corrective action. Riz says, yee, I'm going to try to stop him. YOLO, so 0 DTE, brother. No, you're fighting toast like you're drunk. See? 2016 Toyota Land Cruiser just won comment of the year, by the way. I'm not going to read the comment out loud, but you won comment of the year, my man. Both of y'all are fighting. Watch me help me find. Dude, I'm not fighting, dude. Riz, I'm not fighting. All right? I'm arguing a little bit. But arguing at the end of the day really isn't fighting. It's sometimes you have to talk about the uncomfortable things to get things done in life. So, but here's the irony. You're saying I wasn't meeting my reliability, but I was reliable. That's the thing. Like, my work production was second to none. Alright? Stop, finally. I see. It's all BS. Most Toast says, you cannot say you were meeting your obligations when you are not meeting your reliability for multiple months. This is the disconnect here. Here's the thing. If I would have just used a little bit of wellness time, my reliability would have been at 95% or greater for the month of August. All right? So, how about this? Most Toast. You can go just screw yourself, all right? And call it good. Make sure you guys like the stream and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And the more subscribers we have, the better. It really helps the channel grow in multiple ways. It helps my wiener grow. It helps my peener. It helps my dong. It helps my dong feel something, And I want my dangus to be usable and working at the end of the day. Riz says, finally Toast shut it up so we could finally eat in peace. It's all the same thing, tomato, potato. I didn't know Toast is back. Let's see. I didn't know Toast is back for some more. Dude, Most Toast is obsessed with me, dude. Most Toast probably has the strap-on raring and willing. Yeah, but you didn't do that. What didn't I do? May both of you stop all what I'm saying. Toast, shut it. It's already bad. Dude, Toast just keeps coming at me, dude. I just keep responding. See, I'm just responding to Most Toast passionately. Most Toast says, and then your behavior during the write-up process was entirely unacceptable. Okay, then. What did I do? I was upset. Sure, but what did I do that was so unacceptable? Give me specifics, Most Toast. Considering you keep telling me about specifics. Tell me, I didn't use wellness time. I could have, and I had plenty of hours, and it was implied that it would have been used against me either way. Don't you see? Management was so bad that management sucked. Yeah, I didn't use wellness time. Big frickin' whoop, brony. Big flippin' deal. Dude, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Hey, dude, Most Toast. Riz says, ignore your bullies so they'll leave you alone. Screw that, dude. I take on my bullies. I take them on hard. I take them on long and strong. I ain't afraid of a fight. Hell no. I'm going to fight it, all right? I'm going to fight hard. I'm going to fight real hard, man. Oh. Okay, so let's see. Most Toast says I was not there for the write-ups, but the report states that you were aggressive, irritable, intimidating, condescending, and failed to take responsibility Insubordination is not tolerated. Interesting. So, first off, the report says that, but I was passionately disagreeing with the write-up, and I wasn't being condescending. If anything, I was trying to plead my case. But because they can't handle conflict in any way, because you have terrible managers, and you're a terrible, and by the way, if you are who I think you are terrible at your job too. This is one of the reasons why I was so upset. Because you claim to be a human company, yet there is no humanity behind any of the decisions. It's all a simple, stale rule book. So if you're going to claim to be a good company, act like it. It's frustrating. It really is. All right. So let's see what else is popping up here. So most toast says that may certainly be your perception of the events, but that's not the reality. You know what? You weren't there for it. You don't know how bad the management actually was. You just don't. You just don't. And when management makes an employee feel uncomfortable, too uncomfortable to come into work, and does make them feel like garbage all the time, how about this, Most Toast? Let's put yourself in my shoes for a second. I hope you have the ability to do that. Probably don't if you are who I think you are. Because you lack empathy and ability to understand things outside of yourself. I was being treated like garbage in one-on-ones. I hated my management team. I had levels of resentment towards them. They made me feel like garbage. And instead of asking me why my reliability was low, I just got punished. Because you guys set up a shitty work environment where nobody wants to work. And by the way, Most Toast, if you think you can gaslight the hell out of me, you can't. Because I was already gaslit enough by Becky and Brittany. And you know what's funny? Is I don't blindly accept what you're telling me because you're a gaslighting person. That's what you're about, man. Don't worry. So Most Toast says I hear a lot of blame and resentment and not interest. You know what? I worked for that company for almost 13 years. And then you a-holes decide to fire me because I have a passionate response to a second write-up for reliability, which I barely missed the marker. Barely. I was on a technicality. And it was a technicality, by the way. It absolutely was. Whether you like to admit it or not. So, here's the thing. I'm actually getting a lot of joy out of this because I get to air out my grievances, put it in the ether. Stephanie Moore. I never worked with a Stephanie Moore, dude. So here's the thing. I never worked with a Stephanie Moore. Most Toast, you just fell for the trap. You just fell for the trap. I never worked with a Stephanie Moore. So who are you, Mr. Most Toast? Tell me. Send me an email. I never worked with a Stephanie Moore, man. Who is Stephanie Moore? Yeah, this is insane, man. This is insanity. If I could, then I would. Never. Oh, bullshit. This is some bullshit. All right, so I'm gonna do another show here in just a few moments. I need to drink some water. But we're gonna do next show. The next live stream that we're gonna do is kind of about what are we gonna do? I guess we could do on a topic that's trending. It's a bare minimum. What is trending here? Now I'm trying to figure out the next show topic. I could do. So I'm going to end this particular stream, and then I'm going to start a brand new stream. I could do a karaoke power hour, like my boy Nate Dogg said. I could do karaoke for super chats. That would be funny. I got trolled by the troll, dude. I'm lagging. I didn't lag. Hell no. Yeah, I'm gonna take a bit of a 10-minute hiatus real quick. I'm gonna drink some water. Probably eat a little bit more food. I gotta get my bussy right and tight. But I'll see you guys in just a few. Hey Riz, I'm not the best at singing, I'll admit it. But I will sing. I will sing long, and I will sing hard. Very hard. I'm so hard. Are you hard? I bet you are, man. Yeah. Exactly. Practice makes perfect. Unless I'm singing really bad and practicing that bad singing style, then that's not good. I'm gonna be practicing it getting really bad. I appreciate it, Most Toast. Thank you. Yeah, I was definitely playing along for sure, but it felt really good to get it all out there. Riz says I'm not watching the next stream. That's okay, bud. I love you, Riz. You're the Rizzler. You might. You know, it's so funny. There are some people who get so angry when I do karaoke on here. It's insane. Like, the level of anger that some people exude is beyond, like, whoa. I'm just like, damn. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it, say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. Alright, I'll see you guys in a second.